I just want to do a bit of a lesson about how we use apostrophes in our writing. Now, there's two different ways that we use apostrophes in our writing. One is contractions, and one is to show possession when something belongs to something else. Now, for contractions, they're words that we make smaller by adding the apostrophe in. So if we had a word or two words like did not, okay, words like did not, we could contract that, make it smaller by adding in the apostrophe. So did not could become didn't. Okay, and we'd put that apostrophe in there where the letter is, where the letter has been missed out, that we put the apostrophe. So cannot, we change to, and you'll notice I'm not joining where I'm putting that apostrophe. You don't join where you're putting the apostrophe. Will not is a tricky one, because it's not quite the same, because we change it to won't. I'm drawing in there. Okay, so where we make the word smaller, that's called a contraction, and that's where we add those apostrophes in. Okay, now possession is slightly different. Possession is showing something belongs to somebody else. So you might say the boy's coat, or the girl's, move that one, the girl's bag. Okay, but it's not just relating to people. Obviously you might use a name, you might use okay, you might say Adam's drinks bottle. Okay, so you can use them for names, but it could be anything. It could be houses. So you put house apostrophe S, and you might talk about the house's windows. Okay, so things like that. So where we're saying something belongs to something else, okay, we use an apostrophe for that. This is not to be confused if we're just talking about a plural. So if we're talking about there were a lot of boys, and we're just talking about there being more than one, we don't use the apostrophe. Or a lot of girls, or there were 6 houses in the street, we would just put houses without the apostrophe. Okay, so this one is easy to get confused with plurals. Okay, but remember, it's only if something belongs to something else that we add that apostrophe. Okay, so we've got them there. One last thing I wanted to do. Okay, so this is what we call a singular possession. Okay, where something belongs to one thing. Okay, so the house's windows. Okay, the boy, it's the boy's bag. Okay, if we were to talk about plural possession, okay, something belonging to more than one thing, okay, we make it plural before we add the apostrophe. So I'm going to put a little bit of a line under here. Sorry, it's very difficult to see where I'm going here. So you might talk about the boys' changing room, okay, relating to more than one boy, okay, not just one boy. So you'd say boys, like the plural, boys, like the plural, and you put the apostrophe after the S. So you make the word plural before you add the apostrophe. Okay, if you were talking about the fox's food, and you're talking about that's the food for more than one fox, you would say foxes. Okay, talking about more than one, but then because it's belonging to them, you put the apostrophe after it. Okay, last one, if you were talking about the houses' driveways, okay, so you're talking about maybe all the houses on one street and the driveways that belong to them, you would say houses, okay, as in more than one, plural, and you'd put the apostrophe after it. Okay, so if you're talking about something belonging to more than one thing, you think, right, what's the plural? Then I put my apostrophe. Okay. If you're talking about belonging to one thing, you put the one thing, apostrophe S. Okay, so we've got them there. So it's easy to get confused there, okay? But if you're thinking plural possession, you make it plural before you add the apostrophe, and the apostrophe comes afterwards. Singular, it's what it is, boy, girl, Adam, house, and then you add apostrophe S on the end. But like I say, don't get confused with plurals if you're talking about there was a lot of boys or there was a lot of girls or the ducks in the pond, okay? It's not for plurals. So I hope that helps. Contractions when we're shortening the word, possession when we're talking about things belonging to people, okay? And this is belonging to one person, and this is belonging to more than one thing, okay? Or one thing and more than one thing. Hope that helps clear it up, okay? I look forward to seeing lots of your great work.